Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a very special video. This is BattleTech with Zebu Nation, and the reason this is very special is because this is a Kickstarter beta. This is a project that I've kickstarted. It's BattleTech. The old school board game is now coming to video games thanks to Harebrained Studios, and it's mostly been funded, if not completely funded, but if you want access to the beta, you can still go to their Kickstarter, and I think they have a tier called the Reinforcement tier. It's $60, and that gets you the game and the beta and a few other little things like the soundtrack and things like that. Anyway, you can go there and check it out. Now, I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I'm just here because I backed the beta, and so I've got access to it, and I want to show it off. So right now, as you can see, there aren't many options, including settings, so I can't turn down the music. The music to me sounds incredibly loud, but I did a recording and it wasn't too bad. So maybe it won't be too bad on a video, but we'll see. So we're going to go straight in. As you can see, multiplayer and Mech Lab are also grayed out, so we can't do anything except for single player right now. And basically, this is the skirmish mode. This is if you bought the board game back in 1987 or whenever it first came out.
Welcome, Commander.
You would get a bunch of little plastic, or not plastic even, you would get paper cutouts of giant robots, and you'd get a map, and you'd pick a team against your buddy, and you'd play. And that's basically all this is. This is a map with some mechs, and you go ahead and you play. So there are 3 different levels of battles right now. And basically, it's how much tonnage you get. So you get 15, 20, or 25. And that's tonnage is how many tons you can have of mechs. So you can have, see here, at the 15, what does the M stand for? 15 megatons? I don't know. Anyway, metric tons? Who knows? Anyway, you can see here the numbers add up to about 15-ish. Close. Anyway, 14.9. And so does the other team. Now you can choose both your own side, and it changes the mechs around. You can see a light battle mechs or light cavalry mechs, but they stay within that 15-point threshold. And you can also change around your enemies as well. So what I've found is that the more tonnage you get, the bigger mechs and the harder they are to kill, and the longer that things last. So I don't want this to take forever, so I'm going to choose, let's see. I'm not a big fan of the Locust, Jenner, Hunchback. You know, if you've played Mech Warrior at all, or BattleTech, you'll recognize a lot of these names as famous mechs that you've piloted in the past. Light Assault or Light Battle. Yeah, I think I'll take the Light Battle, and I'll go against the Light Support unit. So as you can see, you got 4 pilots here. They all have sort of personalities and things like that. You can choose the weather: foggy, rainy, sunset, twilight. We'll go with sunset. We'll make it nice and bright so you can see everything. And then you've got a few different maps to choose from: Alpine River, Big Lock, Death Valley, River Crossing, or the Stacks. I have played River Crossing. I think I've played Death Valley. I played everything except for the Stacks. So let's go with the Stacks. It looks like a huge mountain range with a little bit of a lake in between. So that's going to make maneuvering difficult, but it might show off the terrain and things like that. So let's see. Yeah, we got our lance. We got their lance. Let's go. So you got 4 mechs apiece. It is turn-based. You can hear it's got some nice sound effects. It's gonna have some cutscenes and things like that once it gets finished, but that's probably quite a ways away. I think this game is at least a year from release, if I'm not mistaken. So it's gonna be in beta for a while, and they're gonna release, you know, different versions of the beta, of course. You know, once they add multiplayer and they'll probably save campaign mode till the end, I would assume. You know, because they want that to have the most story and the most surprises in it. So I would assume next would be multiplayer, but I don't think they've said exactly what that's going to be. But anyway, I've got a lot of nostalgia for BattleTech. I've played many iterations of the game, both in board game form and video game form. It's a huge expanded universe with wars taking place over the entire galaxy. All kinds of different houses fighting against each other and controlling different territory. So you can play it both as a tactical game and a strategy game. You could also hit the launch button here. I thought it was going to launch by itself, but...
Interface initiated.
Alright.
Lovely landscape here. Simply lovely.
So you can hear the pilots in the background there. They'll add their 2 cents in. Now when it starts out here, before you've made contact with your enemy, and they give you a general vicinity of where your enemy is starting. So before you make contact with the enemy, you can basically move around unfettered. And what you have in each lance, they've got different types of mech, but typically you have 2 light mechs and 2 heavy mechs, or you know, a light mech, 2 medium mechs, you know, some combination of that. But you're always going to have smaller and faster mechs versus larger mechs. So you can tell down here on the right is the weapons for each mech, and up here is basically their status, you know, their armor and all that stuff. Now it doesn't really show you much of their speed or anything like that, so you'll have to either know the mechs by heart or just kind of look at how fast they can go. So this guy is a real speed burner. He can go real far. But on the other side of things, you look at Paradise, this guy. Well, no, he can go pretty far too. So I guess it's just during this opening phase you can kind of move wherever you want. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is move my heavier mechs behind cover and let them pop out and find the enemy later. So what you do is you click on where you want to go, and then you have to decide you're facing, and that's what this thing here is. And that decides basically where your front armor is going to be pointing, and that's very important because these mechs are always more heavily armored in the front. And as you can see, these bonuses here, evasive and cover, you get different bonuses for doing different things. So if you move fast, you get an evasive bonus. If you hide in trees, you get a cover bonus. If you're on higher elevation, you get an elevation bonus. So this game has a lot to do with terrain and movement, so it's kind of cool in that way. Alright, so now let's bring this other Centurion over here. Face her this way. So we've got 2 Centurions, 1 Panther, and 1, what is this guy? That's a Panther. 1 Commando. Okay. So, 2 light mechs, 2 medium mechs, essentially. I'm gonna move this one over here in covers. And I know the enemy is this way, so I'm gonna face that way as best I can. We'll start talking about the weapons as soon as we get into combat. But what I've found from the AI's point of view is that they like to rush their heavy mechs forward and kind of leave them on their own, right? So it's good when you find the computer AI, just start blasting their heavy mechs, focus on their heavy mechs. Don't go forward and aggro their lighter mechs if they leave their lighter mechs behind.
I got a sensor trace.
So we got some enemy contact. They've picked up, basically, long-range scanners have picked up a mech, 50-ton mech.
Another blip on my screen.
So that's a pretty big mech, and there's a 20-ton mech. That's a smaller mech. So it's now come into visual range. We can see that it's a Locust. So now combat turns begin. And each time you get combat turns, there's a couple of things you can do. The first thing you can do is put a mech in reserve that basically holds his turn until the end of the turn. Or they give you a choice of which mechs do you want to move first. Do you want to move Apex over here on the left, or do you want to move
Waiting for orders.
Mockingbird over here on the right? And usually they have it split up as light mechs go earlier in the turn, heavy mechs go later in the turn. Now, let's see. Take a look at her weapons here. She is in cover, so that's alright. Now she's got a medium laser, a short-range missile 2, and a large laser. Now, if you don't know anything about BattleTech, this isn't going to come as naturally to you, but for me, I've played this game quite a bit, so I know that a large laser is a much longer range weapon, a much heavier weapon than a medium laser, and it's not even going to be worth my time firing these weapons at the Locust. Now, you'll be able to figure that out for yourself, but off the start you might be confused. So here's what you look for. You've got different things you can do down here. So I can perform a sensor lock, and that'll give me a bonus to attack next time. You can just straight up attack. You can move. Now if you move, that doesn't end your turn. The movement, at the end of every movement, you also get to attack. So a lot of times there's no point not moving and attacking, because that will help you get in better position. But at this point, I kind of want to stay at long range here. I'm in cover behind trees, so I'm alright. You can sprint, and that basically takes away your attack at the end of your turn, but lets you move farther. And you can reverse. That lets you back up while keeping your armor faced the same direction. And then some vehicles, or some mechs, they have jump jets, and they can jump around the map, and I'll show you those in a minute, but this mech doesn't have one. So what she's going to do is she's just going to attack. So you click the attack button, and then you click on your opponent, and it shows you. Now where you can figure out which weapons to fire if you don't know kind of instinctively is you can look here on the sideline. They've got your percentage to hit. So my large laser is a 40% to hit, 40 base damage. So you can see it's much better than the other weapons, which are 25 damage and 10 damage times 2, because it's got 2 missiles. But only 30% to hit. So no matter what I do, the percentage to hit is not good. So I might want to move anyway. Now the other thing it does is when you decide to move, it'll show you. You see those red lines? That will show you where your line of sight would be to your targets. So I could move up here and get in line of sight, but then I'd be, it'd be 2 mechs on one, and my mech would probably get blasted. So I'm gonna play it a little bit conservative. Move up here, face this direction behind cover. And now I can't really shoot anybody. So the only thing I could do is I could target, sensor lock somebody, or I could brace for impact, and that will decrease the amount of damage you take. But I don't think I'm going to get attacked. I think I'm behind cover here, so I'm going to sensor lock this light mech here. Alright, so the Locust is moving up. It's really fast. And it got a bead on me and fired a lot of weapons at me. So there you can see the amount of damage I took. You can see down here. Alright, so now Apex gets another turn. Now, Apex has jump jets. So you can see now I can jump on top of these mountains. I can go crazy up here. So I'm going to jump up here and get a little bit of a aerial bonus against this guy, and also I'm behind him, so I can fire at his rear armor. As you can see here, the rear armor is not quite as as heavy as his front armor. So his rear armor is 25 and his front armor 40. So now I'm in position. I've got a short range missile 4 and a projected particle cannon, PPC. Right click to fire on these guys. You see, got 100% to hit with the short range missile, only 45% to hit with the PPC, but the PPC does 50 damage. So if I hit, it's going to be a lot of damage. And let's go.
Firing all weapons.
So there we go. Right arm destroyed, right torso destroyed. The pilot was hit, and the vehicle is now unsteady. So when a mech becomes unsteady, I'm now in range of the heavier mechs. I don't like that. They fired some long-range missiles at me. I think that's what they did. Alright, so now this little Jenner is in trouble because now my heavy mechs
You have orders?
are able to fire, and I think I can just fire at this guy. Yeah, I can just fire at him. I've got a direct line of sight. Got 85% chance. Now, these are my 4 weapons I've got. And over here on the left, you see this blinking red thing here? This is the heat meter, and you've got to watch that. You got to be careful. That's one of the tenets of BattleTech, is that every weapon you fire, every time you move, every time you get hit with laser weapons and things like that, it adds heat to your mech, and you have to cool down before you fire again. So once, this mech has pretty good heat sinks. So once it reaches this red line up here, your mech will overheat and has a very high chance of shutting down for a turn or two. So you never want to, unless you're sure you're going to really destroy or heavily damage your enemy, you never want your heat to build up over the red line and cause a shutdown. So just to conserve a little bit of heat, I have these long-range missile 10s that are only 40% to hit. I'm going to deactivate those. As you can see, my heat that I'm going to use this turn dropped significantly. So I'm just going to use my 85% hit with an autocannon 10. That's 75 damage, very significant, and 2 medium lasers, 90% chance to hit. Should be pretty devastating against this tiny mech.
Target acquired and locked in.
There's the autocannon. Ow. So once somebody's CT, their center torso.
Laugh at your downfall.
Oh, laugh at your downfall. Once your center torso is destroyed, the mech is destroyed. Also, if you destroy their head, which is where their pilot is located, the mech will also be destroyed. But they can take a lot of damage in any of their other locations. If they lose a leg, an arm, both arms, both legs, doesn't matter. They can still function as long as they don't lose the center torso and the head. Okay, so now we got
Ready for orders.
one feller left here is Kraken. Not sure he's gonna be able to get in range at all. Well, I'll move him around here, and as you can see, as you move around the field, it'll show you that with these little symbols what kind of bonuses you'll get. I also think that on the map they've got it signified by color. So if I move to white, I'll get a movement bonus. If I move to green, you see the little tree pops up there, I'll get a coverage bonus as well. I'm gonna move up here. Alright, now the final thing to look at, again, their UI is very cool, it's very intuitive, but you gotta know what you're looking at. So there's little details like the little icons, the little green colorings, those kind of things. But the other thing to look at is once you choose your facing, you'll notice at the top of this screen there's sort of a segmented line where there's 2 different colors up here. There's sort of a base color here of just opaque, and then there's a little darker shade up here that's segmented by a line. That signifies the different ranges of your different weapons. So everything in here are sort of my short range weapons, and this out here, the darker colored, or the whatever you call that, the more grayed out area, that signifies my long range weapons, which are my long range missiles. So, the long-range missiles are very finicky. In order to fire them at any kind of accuracy, they have to be within that band. So as you can see, if I move here and face my mech this way, those mechs are in the band for my long-range missiles. So I should be able to fire them if I can get over this stupidly big mountain. So there's a Centurion. I'm in cover. Let me take away all of those weapons and see if there's anybody I can attack. Now I might not be able to attack them because I don't have line of sight on them with any of my other mechs. So that might be holding me back. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to brace myself and see if they come this way and attack me. Nope. Alright. So, Mockingbird's taken a little bit of damage. Apex has not. Apex has the jump jets. See what I can do here with Apex. Jump jets. Now, something interesting you can do with jump jets is you can land on your opponents and do what's called death from above. I don't know that I want to do that at this moment. Alright, so there's another symbol that's popped up there, the rough terrain. That makes it a little bit unstable for your mech to land there, so I don't really want to land on rough terrain, but I might not have a choice. I could just jump over here, here. Now you have to look, another thing, you see a little arrow pointer at the end of this circle? That will determine where you're facing. So when you land here, I don't think you can do a 360 and swivel back around to point your front armor at these mechs. So I'd want to choose a pointing that would get me pointed in their direction. This would give me cover here. Wouldn't give me line of sight. But I might be able to target them. So I'm going to jump up here one, face this direction.
Lifting off.
So I'm in cover, that's good. I'm not on stable ground. Oh, I got this mech in my sight now, this Shadowhawk. Can't attack him, he's too far away. So I'll just brace. Here comes their other 20-ton mech moving up into the fight, so we'll see. There's the Locust. Oh, he got some... So he's got long-range missiles
Systems holding.
that can hit me. Alright. So it's Mockingbird's turn now. She doesn't have much to do. I don't really want Mockingbird to take on that heavy mech by herself. Can I flank or do something cool? I don't think so. I can't really get anywhere cool, unfortunately, so I can just move back into cover, I think. Yeah, we'll move back into the trees, and this is as far as I can face, so I'll just face that direction. Now, if this mech comes down the road and shoots at me, they'll be able to get a shot on my right flank rather than my front armor. And she has sensor lock ability, but I don't think it's going to do her any good. So she'll just brace. So there's, you know, a lot of strategy in terms of maneuvering. That was not a good idea to put him up there on that mountaintop, getting blasted away
Light
at.
damage. Holding firm.
Alright, so now my big mechs can do something. Let's
Standing by.
move Crack in here. So I could move all the way over here and get some long-range missile shots against those guys. Let's see, if I move this direction here, they wouldn't be able to shoot me because they'd be behind the mountains. I mean, maybe they could hit me with long-range missiles as well, but... So there you go. You can see it's well within missile range.
Heading out.
There we go. So now I got my choice. Do I fire at the Locust and take out their light mech? Or fire at their heavy mech who hasn't taken much, if any, damage? I think I'll try to take out their light mech. Fire with... I mean, it's not going to kill him, but... 40 damage. There we go. That's pretty good damage. Trebuchet, that's the... I really need to get Panther out of the line of fire. He just fired a lot of missiles at me. Alright, Paradise, it's your turn. Now the question is, do I want to get up close? There is a very good range with these guys, and I'm not exactly sure what that range is, you know, offhand. Because there's a range where you can still hit pretty well with most of your weapons and also launch your long-range missiles at a reasonable rate as well. What happens if I go in reverse? I can reverse, but I can't reverse into the trees because I want to keep my armor facing forwards. So many decisions, so many decisions. Now, if I could move there, but I don't know that I'd be able to turn my torso to face him enough. Alright, well, let's see. This will put me in cover. Okay, yeah, I can spin my torso around, so that's good. So moves me at a longer range, puts me in cover, and lets me attack. So it's only 35%. Whoa, what is that? I just accidentally clicked off of him. I'm trying to back out of this and see if I could do a multi-attack, but I think once you move, you can't do a multi-attack. I'll have to test that out. So my long-range missiles are still only 35%, so I'm not going to waste that heat energy. I'm just going to fire my autocannon 10, my 2 medium lasers. Start picking away at that guy. Oh, the autocannon missed. Oh, only 1 medium laser hit, so that's not good. Alright. So their light mech is rolling out. Look at how far that little guy goes. He's probably going to take some shots at Panther. Alright, so Panther's getting blasted.
Barely hit, Commander. Aye, aye.
Let's see. I want to use the jump jets and get out of here. Could jump to here and draw them this way even more. Alright, so there we go. Jump to here, spin around, do the 360 no scope. Go. And now I've got a lock on here with attack this locust. So I just still got my short range missiles and my particle cannons. That's a lot of energy. That's a lot of heat. So you can see, you know, the jump jets cost a lot of energy as well. Or I mean, not a lot of energy, but a lot of heat. So that's one drawback of bouncing around the field. So I can't fire the PPC. It is one of the most heat-intensive weapons. So I'll just fire the short-range missiles at them, just pepper them a little bit. Did a little bit of damage. That's good. Left arm destroyed. So if it had a weapon in its left arm, it can't use that arm anymore, but it's still a functional vehicle. So a functional mech. All right, Mockingbird's turn. Now again, I want to move someplace where I only get hit by one mech. You know, only get targeted by one mech, and I'm in cover. So there we go.
I'm there.
Just trying to pick off their little mech and not have my little mechs get picked off. Attack this locust. Not good percentages here. They're all 45%. My heat over here on the left is fine, so I don't have to worry about that. So I'll just take a shot. Nice. The heavy laser hit. Head destroyed. So that was a bit of a lucky shot. That was a bit of a critical hit. And so now their light mechs are gone, and they got nobody to cover their flanks. So they're going to try to do the same to me. They're going to try to take out my light mechs as well.
Internal damage.
Alright, so that mech is compromised.
Receiving you.
There's some post-destruction explosions going on over there. I'll be out in the open here, but I'll be able to attack with all my weapons. So I'll do that. Try to focus on that lead trebuchet there. Alright, so multi-target. I'm going to try to multi-target. So first I'll fire my long-range missiles at that guy. Then I'll fire everything else at the other guy. Right, heat is still fine and dandy, no problems there. And let's go.
On it.
There goes long-range missiles. Alright, so we did some pretty good damage there. It's hard to exactly count up all that damage, but it looked like most everything hit pretty well. You can see their front armor is now orange, so it's getting a little bit compromised. He's backing up, taking a shot at the Panther. A lot of those missiles missed, but some of them hit as well. Alright, Paradise. Your turn. Let's move up into cover.
Consider it done.
And now let's see what happens if I attack. I'm gonna keep attacking this guy. Long range missiles, only 35% chance to hit, so I'll take those off the board, conserve a little bit of heat, and fire away. Missed with the autocannon. Hit with at least one of the lasers. So now you can see my turns are starting to roll a little bit here because I've got more mechs than he does.
I'm here. Awaiting orders.
Apex. Mockingbird. Alright. I'm gonna just run her out of damage. I'm gonna run her around here and try to flank these guys, but keep her out of harm's way behind this mountain. Maybe they'll chase her, I don't know. We'll see how the AI reacts. I don't know if the AI is all that smart. I'll sensor lock. Select any target within sensor range, gain line of sight to that target, and suppress evasive and all movement defense modifiers it has. It lasts until the end of the current turn. So it'll help our team hit that guy. And even though I don't technically have vision on him, I can still have vision on him, so that would allow me to fire long-range missiles at him. Alright, so here we go. Apex.
Commander?
I'll do the same type of thing with Apex. In fact, I might even... Can he sprint? No, he cannot sprint. Unavailable. Unsteady units cannot sprint. Alright, so... Just gonna run around this mountain. And I can't attack or anything, so I'll just brace myself in case they come this direction. He's gonna run up to get in short range. Is he gonna do a melee attack? He is. Look out. Big robots punching each other. Is he out of ammunition or what? Like, that was a weird choice for him to do.
Orders?
I think I just want to reverse. Trying to reverse to a place where only one guy could hit me, so I could reverse to here or here. Yeah, I'll just reverse up. I don't want to stand there and get in a punching contest with a Shadow Hawk. I will do multi-target though. So for my first target, I'm gonna fire my short-range weapons, my mid-range weapons, I guess. So now I have 70% hit with the 8 autocannon, medium lasers 95%, and now my second target will be this guy, trebuchet, and I'll fire the long-range missiles there. 40% chance to hit. Now it does bring my heat up quite a bit, but at this point in the game,
Targeting for an alpha strike.
lots of good damage there. It's kind of spread out between the right arm and the left leg. I didn't see the result of that attack. This guy's moving up, firing his long-range missiles at the Panther. Oh, that's no good. That was a lot of hits on that right arm, that right torso.
What's the plan?
Alright, so now it's Paradise. You know, I think, move here so that I can get a flanking shot on this guy. And then he might be able to... No, he can't do the multi-attack, so he doesn't have that skill, I guess. I'll just attack with all my short-range weapons here. 90% hit with the medium, 75 with the autocannon.
He's going down.
Right in the rear plate. That's a lot of damage. It's over 100 damage right there in one turn. Apex.
Reading you.
Reading you. Alright. She can move back over here. I can't see him from these areas. So, I mean, I might as well. I don't have to run all the way around to flank him. He's turned his back to me, so I can just come back here and, Now, the thing about water as a terrain, it's pretty cool. It will cool you down. Like, if you're overheated, it'll cool you down. If you're, haven't been overheated and you're sitting there in a lake firing your weapons, it'll keep you cool. So it's very cool. It's very cool. It's a very good idea to stand in water if you can. I mean, it puts you out in the open. It makes you a little bit vulnerable tactically, but in terms of firing all your weapons all the time, it's a good idea to stand in water if that's a tactic you want to employ. So here we go, firing right in the back. 60% chance with everything, basically. Ooh, there's a couple of nice hits. Ooh, yeah, one hit with the missiles, one miss. That's okay. Alright, now Apex.
Yes, Commander.
Apex. What do we do with you? I'm just gonna keep running, I think. Trying to keep this guy alive as long as possible.
Moving out.
Now, right now, all these pilots have the same voice. It's kind of weird. I thought the first game I played, there was at least 2 other different voices. There's a Shadowhawk coming up, getting in close range.
Damn it. Oh, I'm wounded.
Got a headshot, injured my pilot. That's no good.
Ready for orders.
Alright, Kraken, I could come over here, move behind this guy, and get some rear angle shots at this guy.
On my way.
His heat is pretty high at the moment, but I can still afford to fire a couple of weapons. Looks like I could still fire all my weapons here. A. E. Nope. Overheat warning, okay. So I'll just fire at A then. Just do regular attack. And fire the AC-10. Medium, medium. Hit him in the back.
Confirmed.
Oh, the autocannon missed. So one thing about the autocannons is they do the most damage in the game, but they do have the least to hit chance.
Reporting.
I mean, I can come over here and get another. No, I can't. Alright. I think I'm locked in, though. No, okay. Maybe. Reverse. Okay, okay. So the movement is still a little fiddly sometimes, but not all the time. I won't have a back shot on him, but I'll still be in a little bit of cover here, and I'll be able to shoot him from the sides. And he can't do the multi-attack, so I'll just blast this trebuchet again. 65% with the autocannons, 85% with the medium lasers.
Locking on target.
So you can see why I don't want to do like a full series of videos on this, because all of the scenarios play out pretty much the same. It's just a matter of which mechs you have. You know, do you have a bunch of the medium mechs or the small mechs or the large mechs? And it's just all, it's all the same gameplay. It's just a matter of it's just a matter of the details of what mechs. So we'll bring Panther
On the move.
back around here to take a shot at this Shadowhawk. No heat problems at the moment, so let's attack. 85% with the short range and the PPC, so hopefully this does some significant damage. Boom, boom, nice, nice. Looks like the Shadowhawk's missing one of its torsos. Left torso looked destroyed. Now it's Mockingbird's time.
Yes, Commander.
Move up here into cover. I don't want to get too aggressive, because they'll probably try to destroy Mockingbird just out of spite, I guess. Fire all weapons. 70% chances to hit the medium laser, or the large laser hit. That's good. Oh, yeah, they're both gonna fire at Mockingbird. Ouch, ouch.
Reporting internal damage.
The other thing about autocannons is they've got a limited amount of ammunition, especially compared to most of the other weapons. Like the missile launchers have limited ammunition as well, but just it's not as limited. All right, so I'm gonna multi-target if I can. I think I'm gonna run out of heat again. Yeah, way overboard on the heat. Alright, so just attack and attack this guy. AC-10. Medium laser. I might not even be able to fire my second medium laser this time. Alright, so I think I'll just fire the 2 medium lasers then, because they're both 100% to hit.
Target lock on rear arc.
25 damage, that's pretty good. He's gonna run up. Oh, he's gonna get behind. Nope, he's gonna fire at the Panther again. Or Mockingbird. Bird's a tough little mech, but
I'm hit.
she's taking damage. Alright. Paradise, your turn. Let's go in reverse.
As you wish.
Beep, beep, beep. Back up, back up, back up. Alright. Centurion. Fire at this guy. Again, we're getting all these back shots against these guys. We don't need to fire our long-range missiles because they're not going to hit anyway. There we go.
Target confirmed.
Only 65%. Missed with the autocannon. Medium lasers hit. Oh, that got him though. Punched through his rear armor. Destroyed his center torso, so I didn't have to destroy everything, just destroy that center torso. And he's gone. So they're down to 1 mech now.
Commander.
And we've been hammering away at this guy's back plates as well. Just fire. No need to do anything. PPC 100%. Short range missiles 100%. That's a lot of damage. So as you can see, the Panther is a small mech, but it has that PPC, which gives it a lot of damage. At this point, we might as well close in and surround this bugger. I mean, even if they destroyed my large laser. So, I mean, even if they do manage to destroy Mockingbird, it's still gonna win the scenario, and there's no larger scenario to worry about. So we'll just try to get rid of this guy as quick as possible. Decent damage. He still has a lot of front armor. It's just he's... Oh, look out. He's gonna try to smash me. Oh, he missed. Shadowhawk is a very cool
standing by.
I could run up and punch him, but I don't think I'll do that. Let's run up in cover, shoot him from behind. Any honorable gentleman would do. This will get me to the edge of my heat problems, but you know what? I'm gonna fire
Enemy
anyway.
outflanked.
Boom. So there we go. The autocannon finished him off, and then the
Destroyed.
lasers just for good measure. So there you go. There's a scenario with the BattleTech demo. Now, as you can see, the AI is not terrible, but it's not that good. Here's the after action report details. You can see the damage on my different mechs. Looks like I lost my right arm, and that's where the large laser was for the Mockingbird. And then he suffered some damage on his right side, but left side, no problem. Same thing. Damage on one arm, but the rest of his body's fine. And then good old Paradise didn't even suffer much damage at all. So it's a very much a rout. Can't look at the enemy forces, or can you? Yeah, so there's the enemy forces. Both of them lost their rear armor. He lost his whole right side there, and he lost his whole left side. So it was just sort of a dominant victory. Oh, headshot. That was the headshot on the Locust. And now, after each mission, they ask you to take a survey. I'm not going to take a survey that time. I've already taken a few surveys, so they've gotten quite a bit of information from me. So there you go. There's the BattleTech demo. Right now, is it worth $60 to you? I don't know. Probably not, unless you have some nostalgia for this and you just want to be able to play with the mechs and run around. You know, you can try choosing the different mechs and, you know, seeing what they offer and just seeing different combinations. Can't go in the mech lab yet, so you can't sort of design your own specially customized mech or anything like that. So you can only mess with the ones they give you, but you can pick a squad and then modify that squad in terms of what mechs are in it, based on their tonnage, of course. But yeah, it's a very basic demo. It's just the most basic gameplay of BattleTech. So it's really just there to whet your appetite as kind of a thank you to the early backers, to show them the progress. And I think it's very good progress, in my opinion. It's got a lot of the tactics of the board game down and all that stuff. So I'm very happy with it. And I guess I'll end it there. Go to Kickstarter and check out their BattleTech project, Hairbrain Studios. So that's about it. Until next time, see you later. Bye-bye.